Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 3 of the NextGen Playbook podcast. Where, as always, we're the next gen, but we don't talk about playbooks.
No playbooks.
No playbooks here. Of course, I'm your host, Charlie, along with my incredible co-host, Reed. And today we'll be giving you all the new sports news, our hot takes, some debates, and our thoughts on some big sporting events that are coming up.
Yep. We're back in the original filming setting.
back in the original filming setting. No more wind chimes to bother us.
Which, by the way, camera audio didn't even pick it up.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So that was a little weird.
One chime that happened a couple of days ago that shook up the sports world was Lionel Messi's move to Inter Miami.
Inter Miami? They think they enter Milan, dude. What? Like,
the
what is
worst
this?
team in the MLS. At least didn't go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, because that's just not
if you
fun.
didn't see, of course, Karim Benzema, the big center forward for Real Madrid, and
former Ballon d'Or winner,
N'Golo Kante, two-time Premier League winner, only player to win the Premier League back-to-back years with two different clubs, both moving to Al Ittihad. And there's a couple other guys who look to also be on the move too.
Yeah, but I've heard reports that Inter Miami, they're going to try to recruit guys like Di Maria
and Sergio Busquets. I've also heard as well.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. Now Messi said this wasn't a money move, but it really was. It was just it was more about like long-term investments because he was offered to go to Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, which is owned by
the Saudi Investment Fund.
Yeah, the Saudi Public Investments Fund, which is actually the state of Saudi Arabia or the country of Saudi Arabia. But if you actually look at Messi's deal with Inter Miami, it's more about like he has like once he retires, he has a stake to have like a cheaper ownership deal with a new MLS club, kind of like David Beckham. And he also has like a percentage of the sales of like their Apple subscription for MLS games.
And part of the sales that Adidas is getting for Inter Miami, just gear.
Yeah, so it's much more about like long-term investments. A Barcelona move was also rumored, but it sounds like he has a lot of trust issues with Barcelona, and they'd have to really rework everything, cut a lot of people's pay, and he didn't want to be responsible for that.
Yeah, it makes sense, but it's obviously unfortunate. But he'll probably tear up the MLS.
I'm sure.
And it's just exciting to have him here in
a guy
the States.
Of that caliber. In my opinion, the GOAT of football or soccer, whatever you want to call it, coming to America is really cool. But another interesting sporting event that's actually taking place of the day of this recording, Saturday, June 10th.
Today is June 10th, yes.
Is the Champions League final.
That is going on in an hour. It's currently 2 p.m. right now, so 1 hour.
On the dot, yeah.
1 hour.
And both of us kind of have the same prediction. It's going to be Man City. Come on.
I really don't want to say that.
I don't think there's anything else to cover. It's going to be a massacre in Istanbul. It's not going to be a fun one for Inter Milan fans. I mean, I think everyone that isn't a blue or isn't a citizen is probably cheering for Inter, but I just don't.
We're wearing dark blue, but it's going to be the light blues that win it.
Yeah, it's going to be it's not going to be the blue blues. It's going to be the Blues of Manchester.
And it sucks. My phone. Wrong side of Manchester.
Any score predictions?
3. I think I said 3-0, right?
Yeah, 3-0. I'm gonna go 2-0. Seeing a Bernardo Silva and a Holland goal in there. Oh, it's been relatively quiet in the UCL. Yeah. But now, Reed, why don't you take us through the NHL Finals?
All right. So at the time of this recording, it's 2-1 Vegas. Florida just squeaked out a win in overtime. 2 nights ago? Really big win because they went down 3-0. That would not have been good. 2-1. They play again tonight. I'm pretty sure it's tonight, 8:00. If the Panthers can win this game, they obviously have a lot of momentum.
Back in it.
Like, that's huge. But, this is a must win for them. It's a must win until they tie the series. So Vegas, go back to what you were doing at home. Florida, you just got to hope that Sergei Bobrovsky is playing a net like he did last game. Obviously, games 1 and 2, it was kind of rough. Going to Las Vegas, not an easy place to win.
And definitely take advantage of those power plays because that's been the big stat I've been seeing.
Oh, yeah. I think they're 0 for 12 this series.
0 for 12 on power plays this series. You can't do that.
No. Power plays are a huge part of the game if you can capitalize because it's pretty hard to score 5-on-5. So if you can go 5-on-4 and start scoring, but if you can't, you're kind of screwed at that point.
Yeah.
Like I remember 2019, the Blues were so good 5-on-5, but they committed so many penalties, and the Bruins were just so good on the power play. And obviously the Blues won that series, but still, you got to be able to score when you have the man advantage. So yeah, that's kind of the rundown. I really don't mid-series prediction. I think is leaning more towards Vegas, and I'm a little sad about that. But I just want to see a good 7-game series. So I'm gonna flip this over to Charlie. He's gonna talk about the NBA.
Another South Florida squad that's having a tough time in their finals is Miami Heat. They just went down 3-1 last night to the Denver Nuggets, and it wasn't really that close. And it really is down to the play of Jimmy Butler. Their role players are very fluctuant in how they play, and it's kind of like Caleb Martin doesn't have a good game. Well, Gabe Vincent will pick it up, or Duncan Robinson, of course, in what's it called, game 2. But like, if Jimmy Butler isn't playing well, you don't have a chance. Bam Adebayo is doing everything he possibly can. He's playing some exactly what the Heat need him to do. He needs to be aggressive. He needs to be fast paced. He's making some great passes. He's doing as much as he possibly can against the most versatile big man I think the league has ever seen in Nikola Jokic. And if Jimmy isn't able to step up, this series could end in 5. I have the Nuggets in 6, but if the Heats want to have any shot at this, Jimmy's really got to pick it up. And we just haven't seen him play like he has the rest of the postseason. And I think it's kind of the same as the 2020 NBA postseason for him, where by the end he was just gassed, and so was that entire Miami Heat team. And it just sounds like it, like going to 7. I'm sure that's mentally and physically exasperating, especially when you're up 3-0.
Yeah.
It's just this Nuggets team is really good. It's a really, really good Nuggets team. Even with KCP starting at the 2, he's playing actually competent basketball. He's not playing like J.R. Smith. So it's just
It's unfortunate. We thought we'd have a better series.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I liked the Heat going into it. I thought that they could put up a better fight. 3-1. They're down. They're not out of it yet, but it kind of feels like that.
But like
going back to Denver, the altitude obviously plays a factor. It's a real thing.
And with MPJ, even with Michael Porter Jr. not really playing the best for the Nuggets, they can't do anything to stop Jamal Murray.
Or Aaron Gordon had a monster game.
Aaron Gordon had a great game last night. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're able to pick up the slack when, like, I remember Jokic had foul troubles.
Yeah.
And they're able to pick up the slack, and they're having other guys, like, it's not just Jokic, because they got other guys that can shoot the ball, play defense, whatever.
Their undrafted role players really need to pick it up, because Max Strus is not doing it right now, and it's really disappointing just to see this team kind of fall flat in this big of a stage.
And also going back to are you done talking about basketball?
Yeah.
All right, so going back to the hockey series, this has been a very physical series. We've seen guys, I remember in, like, I think it was game 1, there were like 3 10-minute like major penalties given, like game misconducts. Like this NHL Stanley Cup Finals is getting chippy really quick. Like, we've seen big hits every single game. We've seen guys had to go to the locked dressing room, get fixed up, and then they go back out there. Matthew Tkachuk he took a big hit yesterday, went into the dressing room, and then, played a huge role in them winning that game, that must-win game for them the other night. So, it's getting physical, and I think the more physical team is going to have a huge advantage in this, because as the Stanley Cup Finals, unlike the NFL where the refs like to take over the game, in the NHL that doesn't really happen a whole lot. You have the refs just kind of letting them play it out. The only penalty they'll call is puck over the glass, because that's the most obvious. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of physicality, and that's what makes the Stanley Cup Finals so awesome. And so game 4 tonight.
Big one
in Florida. Panthers need this one.
Can't go down 3-1.
The comeback cats, as they call them.
It's a great name. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Another physical sport, I guess, not as physical as hockey, is football. And there's a couple players whose names
not
the kicky one. Yeah.
That hurt my back.
But a couple players whose names start with D have potential landing spots, and both of them, of course, is Dalvin Cook, the Florida State alum, and it's DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins has kind of been circulating for a little while, but the Dalvin Cook release is kind of breaking news. It happened just yesterday. They
couldn't trade him, so they released him, and so now any team can go out and get him.
I think it's just a question of how much he wants, because
Yeah.
he's a very injury prone running back that's been in the league for a good bit.
Yeah, but he's definitely good when
He's definitely
when
good on
healthy.
he's definitely good on his day. Yeah. So where do you think DeAndre Hopkins?
DeAndre Hopkins. All right, so
This better not be biased, because I have a sneaking suspicion on where he's going to sit.
this is genuinely like, I got a bad feeling he's gonna go to the Cowboys, dude. I got a really bad feeling he's gonna end up in
I'm
Dallas.
just saying Jacksonville as well.
Jacksonville, really?
And
Jacksonville.
yeah, Jacksonville, or
That's a name I haven't heard.
or Cleveland.
Oh, I forgot about Cleveland.
Cle-
With Amari Cooper, that'd
would be a
interesting.
dangerous core. And I mean, what's it called? DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson have some chemistry and some time together.
That could be a big selling point for him.
That
I
would
forgot about that.
What does he really want to play in Cleveland, Ohio? Like,
who wants to, I'd rather play in Foxborough, Massachusetts, home of your New England Patriots,
who are not
6-time Super Bowl champions. We are all Patriots, baby. He's going to New England. They have a meeting next week. He's just going to sign right there. Bill Belichick is going to do his little magic thing. He's going to be a Patriot. He's not going to be a Patriot.
the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again
and expecting
a
different result. I heard that quote today on YouTube.
This is just the life of a Patriots fan.
Dude, we need something to go away. Juju Smith-Schuster is not going to be our number one guy. If he is, I'm actually going to go psycho, and I'm never going to watch a Patriots game ever again.
Remember, folks, this is a fan of a player. This is a fan of a team that won 6 championships.
Pro Football Focus had us going 4-13, or maybe it was 3-14. I don't know. I can't take it anymore. We are in the hardest division of football.
Be a Falcons fan.
Our quarterback
Be
is so mediocre.
Be a Falcons fan.
I am so sorry, Mac
Be
Jones.
a Falcons fan. Try it. See how that is.
I am so sorry, Mac
Marcus
Jones.
Mariota starting more than 10 games.
Who I can't even name 3 wide receivers on our team. Juju, Devontae Parker, and Kendrick Bourne. God help me, please. Please.
6 championships and he's doing all this.
Please.
I've had to see mediocrity my entire life. I saw Dan Quinn go 7-9 like 3 years in a row. You don't feel my pain. You don't feel this pain.
I've seen the Patriots miss the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years.
Spare me, please.
Please.
I haven't seen a Falcons playoff game since 2017. Okay, I don't want to hear.
Can you remind me what happened in that big game?
Oh, for the Patriots? Oh
no. The
Falcons.
F for Falcons.
The final one.
F for Falcons.
The final Tom Brady game as a Patriots player. Oh,
Dalvin Cook's gonna go to the Dolphins.
Where he threw
I don't want to talk
away
about
the
this.
game.
I don't want to talk about
The
this.
1 year he had an incredible defense and he completely
I don't want to talk
blew it.
about it.
Oh,
I don't want to talk about
yeah.
it. I don't want to talk about it, man.
Joe Montana better.
That is so uncalled for, dude. So uncalled for.
Of
So
course,
what's your
this was a D-Hop
what's
portion.
What is your final prediction about D-Hop?
I'm gonna say Cleveland, man.
Yeah, Dallas or Cleveland for me. Dallas seems like a better place to live. Cleveland, I feel like he'd like it better there, especially.
Let's see if that Cleveland coaching staff and Deshaun Watson can give him a good enough sales pitch.
Yeah, we'll see.
Should
Be interesting. And where do you think Dalvin Cook's going? Because I really don't know.
I really don't
Miami?
know. I haven't seen like enough about it.
Bro.
And it's also I don't see how much he's asked. I don't know how much he's asking for.
He should go to Buffalo to reunite with his brother.
Okay.
The silence is loud there. Okay. I think that's enough football.
Yeah.
That got really out of hand. He's just a depressed Falcons fan.
I'm not.
And I'm a delusional Patriots fan.
Drafting Bijan Robinson with 8th overall. What were we thinking?
Okay.
Christian Gonzalez is right there.
Hey.
Christian Gonzalez is right there.
Can you tell me who got Christian Gonzalez?
Shut up.
All right. So now we're gonna go to the sport where
it's actually going on. The season is happening right now.
We have stuff to talk about, but we're gonna neglect that.
A team and their city that's going up in smoke is the New York Yankees, and that division is the best one
in baseball.
It's awesome to watch.
I don't know if anybody's under. If everybody's still at or above 500.
I think the Red Sox are still.
Are they at 500?
Yeah, I'm 90%. I'm 90% sure.
Let's just pull up these standings real quick because.
But who do you think is going to come out of this division on top? Because the Rays are up to a great start, but
47-19. Are you kidding me?
That is incredible. And this division is so good, like top to bottom.
The Rays are gonna have rough stretches. Every team has a rough stretch during the season. Some are more
The
than the
Rays,
others.
and this
like
and
the
this might
Cardinals.
not be a good thing for the Rays if they're getting off to such a hot start. Maybe they'll really start to cool down. We won't see them go super far in
the postseason.
in the
I think they're
postseason.
still gonna make the playoffs.
I agree. I think with this good of a jump, if you miss the playoffs, that's like an all-time choke.
Yeah.
Now the Yankees might be choking on smoke, but they're also choking on the field. And it shows. Injuries, of course, kind of a
Injuries suck.
injuries are bad, and it always happens to the Yankees.
A Judge on the
It
IL is awful.
always happens on the Yankees.
They can't get Rodon back.
Yeah, it's this division
Nestor's
is really
not
interesting,
doing
and I
well.
think honestly, it's impeccable and improbable how this Baltimore team is in second, and this Toronto team, which has spent so much money, is in fourth. And I think it's also a big portion of just the pitching for Toronto has been inconsistent and honestly overall mediocre at best. I mean, Alek Manoah got optioned
He
down.
literally got sent down to the Florida Summer League or something.
Jose Barrios has forgotten how to pitch ever since he got to this team.
Mhm.
You say Kikuchi is like really
The only thing bro can do is hide the ball well because you
Yeah.
cannot see the ball until that thing is like halfway to the plate.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
it
he's
doesn't
not very
but it
good.
doesn't matter. He still gets shelled.
But he still gives up 450-foot home runs to Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, it's
I feel like the only thing the Blue Jays have going for them pitching wise is like Chris Bassett.
yeah.
He's been a bright spot for them, I feel like. But otherwise,
But
like
who knows how much longer he can keep this up because he's pretty stinking old. He's like
Yeah.
34. So who do you think is coming out of this division?
all right. I think the Rays are.
I have to agree.
I genuinely don't I don't know if they're gonna be able to keep this up riding into the postseason. They're at just a ridiculous start to the season. I wish I was a Rays fan. I've been to a Rays game, so
Me too. Trop is bad though.
bad.
Don't go.
We talked about it
The
already.
Trop is bad.
The Rays are probably gonna win that division.
I agree.
I have a hot take. I don't think the Yankees are gonna make the playoffs this year.
I have to disagree with how many injuries they've had and the way that they've still kind of been able to keep this together. And honestly, with the fact I can't trust Baltimore on good conscience. I just can't do it.
It's a little scary, but like their bullpen has been really good. I know they've got some guys like Cano, Bautista in that back
A
end.
bunch of their bats are like really cooling down, and I just think it's a little bit too early for them to like really make a push for the postseason. So
Yeah, I'm kind of on the wrong side.
and honestly, especially with the Grom going down, how much more can I trust the Rangers? Like, is Andrew Heaney and Josiah Gray, or sorry,
Andrew Heaney and Eovaldi.
yeah, Eovaldi and like what's it called? Gray for the Rangers.
John Gray.
Yeah,
not Josiah Gray.
Not Josiah Gray.
He's on the Nats or something. Nobody
yeah,
cares about the Nats.
He's great though. He's really good. I really like Josiah Gray. But yeah, like Kinless is really picking up with like Dane Dunning and like Spencer Howard as well.
That's true. I see your point because right now the Astros are out of wild card spot because it's the Yankees and Orioles.
But
I feel like one of those two teams out west is gonna obviously one's gonna win the division, one's gonna get the wild card.
Yeah.
And only one AL East team is. And I know I've said before that there's gonna be two AL East teams that get this wild card.
But with the way the AL West is shaping up, it's really interesting. And who knows? What if the Mariners are able to pick it up as well? Then we'd have like it's a really tight race,
especially with like the wild card series format now. Like you could see, I forgot like what the seating looks like and stuff. I think it's a couple more teams make. I really don't remember because they've only done this like once before.
Yeah, and they keep on changing. It feels like it's like never ending.
Yeah, I know.
And like go back and forth and all that.
I just don't expect the AL East in general to make a deep run in the playoffs, whether it's the Orioles, Yankees, or Rays. To be honest,
I feel like they're using up all their juice to just get into the playoffs, and I feel like they'll probably be out of the tank.
Then there's teams like the Cardinals that aren't using any juice.
Okay, stop going back to the Cardinals.
August and September, remember, okay?
Oh my gosh, guys! In August and September, the Blue Jays will get over 500. Yeah,
They still are over 500. They are the Blue Jays.
No, the Cardinals.
You said Blue Jays.
Oh, the Cardinals. Okay, that's what we're talking about.
The Yankees are not.
I have to disagree with all the injuries. Just wait till this team.
Yeah.
Just wait till this team gets back together.
I just don't think they will get healthy. That's the issue though. It's like I feel like the injury bug's gonna.
But even if they don't get healthy, I can't trust this Orioles team. They're just too young.
Yeah, they're very young. Give him a year or
Give
two.
him a year or two, just like the Marlins, my favorite team.
Hey, let's talk about them real quick. Second in the NL East.
In the NL East,
They're like a couple games. They're like 3 games back of the Braves or something.
Yeah,
unreal.
They're sticking with us, even when we're like coming from behind 3 straight times against the Mets.
So, well, 4 I can tell because they had to come back yesterday against the Nationals.
Yeah.
Honestly, a win's a win though, so who cares?
Win's a win. Who cares?
It's baseball. The best team, like the Braves, lost 2 out of 3 to the A's. That's just baseball. It happens. At the end of the day, those are professional players that are still very
Don't
good.
even get me started. That series was so bad.
But a bright spot for the Braves is AJ Smith-Shawver for sure.
I mean, Dylan Dodd and Jared Schuster really haven't been good as like replacement arms.
Schuster's been a little.
He's picked it up ever since he came back up, but Dylan Dodd really hasn't. And it's really promising to see the youngest of the 3 of them do pretty well in his first 2 starts.
Strider's been on a.
He's been slowing down. Him and it's been.
Like even against I remember I went to the game Sunday Night Baseball against the Phillies. He still had like 9 strikeouts, but he just wasn't able to get ahead of the count and finish off.
And the last game of the series against the
Mets, yeah, that was not good.
That was not good. But our pitching overall that series was pretty shaky at best.
Yeah, coming from behind, the bats picked it up.
Yeah, Elder wasn't great either. I think we'll be okay.
It's one start. Everybody had one bad start. Who cares? Real quick before we talk about our final thing. Let's switch it over to the NL West, where the Arizona Diamondbacks are currently leading that division.
That is like when I know I said I can't trust young teams, and I can't trust the Diamondbacks.
No, I am not trusting the Diamondbacks.
I can't trust this Diamondbacks team either. But it's really interesting, especially with like a bunch of their super young guys haven't even come up yet. It's the Corbin Carroll show, and we're all just living in it.
Corbin Carroll's gonna win Rookie of the Year
for sure. It is.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats.
This is a wild thing to see. I mean, the Dodgers have been like the royalty of the MLB for so long.
Regular season, they're like the Bills, just regular season bandits.
But yeah, for so long, and they made it to the World Series. What, three years I think now?
2017, 2018, 2020.
3 years, and they made it to like the NLCS like every year.
Every time, yeah, I think so.
Except for like last year, but last year was just some crazy.
What happened? Oh, they lost to the Padres.
Yeah, speaking of the Padres, what is going on?
Well,
guys?
I would just like to note how every team in the Cardinals have a +4 run differential. Okay, back to the West. Every team has a positive run differential.
See what I'm talking about?
Except the Rockies. Okay, who's a bigger disappointment though? Because the Padres or Cardinals this year.
Oh, by far the Padres.
It's the Padres because of how much money they've put into that team.
I'm like
all the assets they have, and they still can't perform.
The Cardinals pitching is really bad.
But it was expected to be bad too.
Yeah, exactly.
We were expecting.
I didn't have high expectations for the pitching, especially with like every single arm just got older. I mean, I never liked that Xander Bogaerts deal. I feel like they just made their infield like too packed in, and giving him that much money over that long, one, messed up the shortstop marking, so my sweet baby boy Dansby Swanson couldn't re-sign with the Braves, and then second off,
he couldn't go to the Cardinals, man.
Why would he want to go to the Cardinals? That doesn't even make sense. The reason why he went to the Chicago is to be with his girlfriend.
It's his wife now. It's his wife.
Why couldn't she just move to Atlanta?
Boo. And she tore her ACL.
Yeah,
so there was no point.
There's no point. Also, your husband is legit an MLB shortstop. I mean, like, you can have your own profession. I'm just saying, no. You'd be living very comfortably if you just lived there.
Yeah.
Also, you're gonna do long distance either way.
I'm not even.
Dansby's always gonna be on the move.
I'm not even gonna lie though. Orlando Arcia has been him.
He has been incredible, especially with like Bond. Really, he's been hitting pretty well in AAA, but like fielding wise, and when he was up in the majors, he really wasn't hitting that well. I'm really happy with how well Orlando Arcia is, and he was just a random pickup we made as like an outfielder because Abraham Almonte is terrible. Abraham Almonte.
Get Charlie Culberson playing time.
Hire Adrianza. That outfield was crazy.
2021 was a wild season.
2021 was a wild season.
I've been reminiscing over. I've been watching so many videos about the 2021 Braves, and I always just forget how awful
Key Van Martin was like our starting catcher for so long that year.
Oh my god!
I never saw him actually get hit in person. That team, I don't know how we made it.
Max Fried had to hit a walk-off one time.
I know. Good times.
Good times. Wow, we really got off topic
We
there.
really did, but hey,
It's baseball. It's the game you all
some
love.
good times have happened pretty recently, and one of those
Yeah.
moments happened in the MLB. And today,
Another MLB
another MLB moment. In fact, this is our moments of
of
the week. Rick,
All
start
right.
us off.
So I don't remember what day this was. Dang it. Anyways,
It was a great game though.
shout out Will Benson, guy from Georgia.
And Ellie De La Cruz too.
Shut up. That's not my part of my moment of the week. Okay. Will Benson. If you know, you know. Will Benson, Georgia kid, played baseball here, went to high school here. Hit first round pick 2016 by the Indian. Oopsie. It doesn't matter.
The Guardians, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Different times. That's when they made the World Series. Walk off for
Rashad Davis.
First career home run was a walk off against the Dodgers. Did you see Will Benson's highlights? If you just gotta look up like Will Benson walk off home run versus the Dodgers, he just threw his stuff everywhere.
I mean, I would too.
Did you see the clip?
I saw, yeah.
He was so hype.
I would too.
It was awesome.
You beat one of the best teams in baseball, and
First career home run.
And your first career home run is a walk.
It was halfway up the right field deck.
Exactly.
Dude.
He smoked that thing, just like Ellie De La Cruz.
It's just like Ellie De La Cruz and Ellie De La Cruz.
And you know what they're probably saying after that? Throw it again. Please
throw it again.
again.
Please throw it again.
And you know what, Pete? We did.
And
And guess what
You
happened?
should take that hat off because you can't be talking bad about Pete with a Florida
This is
hat
a
on.
Preston Tucker hat. We love Preston Tucker in this household, okay?
In your household.
my
I
household.
could care less.
But you should like Preston Tucker. But
Preston
yeah, my
Tucker's
moment of the week is actually that entire 3-game series between my Atlanta Braves and the stinking New York Mets. Every single morning, if I'm down, or any time of day when I'm down, you know what I look up?
Throw it again.
Mets fans meltdowns. It's the best.
God.
I saw a clip the other day
so
of a guy, like he was so mad after we beat them. Of course, this is the game where Ozzy had that awesome walk off. He was so mad. He just came out into his car in the middle of the night to rant online. It is so fun watching depressed Mets fans being like having mental breakdowns after we smoked them. They hate us so much. They wanted Acuna to get rocked in the skull, and guess what? We rocked a ball into the upper deck and walked it off on y'all.
And jokes on y'all. Pete Alonso's now out for 4 weeks.
Okay, I don't want to talk about. I feel bad for him. Okay, I mean, throw it again was dumb, whatever. But like, I don't like injuries. And all that.
Dude. Obviously, I don't either. Like, I'm an athlete. I'm injured right now.
Snap back.
Somebody blew my back
Send
out. If you know, you know.
But yeah, that is my moment of the week. That entire series was awesome if you're a Braves fan, of course. Or I don't think anyone's actually a Mets fan.
They live
isn't a Mets
they
fan.
live in such a depressing area too.
I know,
they
right?
they have their like apartments that's the size of this room for like $2,000 a month of rent.
Yeah.
And they, eat, Joe's Pizza every day, which isn't bad, but
yeah,
like
and they eat hoagies. They're probably gonna get like
colon cancer,
yeah.
all that process. Anyways, we just turned this into a nutritional thing. What?
As I am a personal fitness genius, folks. But yeah, that
Because
is.
you're taking health class during the summer doesn't mean you're a personal
But yeah,
fitness trainer.
that was honestly one of the most fun series. I mean, it was stressful because it's every single game we went down, and then every single game we managed to come back and win.
But I mean, it doesn't matter if the Mets are like really bad right now. That still shows a lot of character in this Braves team.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, props to Ozzy Albies, because I always give him flack from the left-hand side of the plate, but he's done pretty well this season from that side of the plate.
Yeah, the only issue is I feel like he chases a lot, and he's I feel like he's late on a lot of pitches because of his leg kick all the way up. Which he's a professional at the end of the day. He can do what he does, and
he's getting paid the big bucks, and we're not. So
yeah. Do we want to one more thing? Because I said this was going to be the last topic, but I wanted to catch up on this real quick. The golf world, PGA and Live Golf combining. What do you think about that?
McElroy. Phil Mickelson, right?
Mickelson.
There we go.
I think that's good for the game of golf because there's still going to be division. And at the end of the day, I think Saudi Arabia should have stayed out of the golfing circuit in the first place.
Sports washing.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. And we're going to say that about everything. Newcastle sports washing. I'm sorry.
we got money now. We got Bruno Camarge. I don't care.
But I think it's at the end of the day, it's still good for the game of golf. And I hope that everything can be resolved to where it was before 2021 or whenever Live Golf was made.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, this kid needs to hop on. All right.
Learn about basketball, okay? But yeah,
we talked about basketball.
thank you for listening to this interesting and kind of all over the place episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. And once again, this has been your co-host Charlie,
Oh,
with my magnificent USA, but also a terrible Patriots fan, Reed. We hope you enjoyed episode
shout out to Centralia
3.
High School. Centralia High
episode
School.
3. Yeah, go
Orphans.
Go Orphans. But once again, this has been episode 3 of the NextGen Playbook podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Remember the name Will Benson.
And Phil Mickelson.
All
right. Thank you for watching. Oh, we hope to give you guys, of course, more episodes. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great one.
Adios.